Am I already live? Oh. Am I? Oh. It's the first time I don't need a separated app. Yeah, I'm actually live. It works. Cool. So yeah, I'm just doing this to try out if this actually works. And I'll be live streaming for the next 29 minutes and just work out for a bit. If you have a question, ask away. And if not, I'll just do my thing. Oh, by the way, I do have a question for you guys. Does any one of you know what fruit this is? I've bought this on the market. It was 9 euros the kilo. Very expensive fruit. Kind of tastes like a pear, I guess. And not worth the price. Luckily, I did not buy an entire kilo. But I really want to know what the name of this is. Anyone knows? Tell me. If I do get a question, where can I see it? It works. All right, got it. Cool. Thanks, Peter. Let's see. Just go and do some sets with 70 kilos. So it seems that chats, they don't stay long on the screen. All right. Good. Oh, there are only 2 people in now, so. That's why I usually stream in the evening, because I got very few viewers from Europe. I think most come from India and America. And it's really good to have a home gym. That's why I never go to a public gym anymore. Yeah, exactly. If you use a lightweight like 70 kilos, it's, in my opinion, optimal for pumping up the muscle. Like, especially for a pump, you actually want to use a lighter weight. And as long as you do your reps slow and controlled, if you do it properly, it's still enough to apply the principle of what's it called? Well, for sure, time under tension, and also progressive overload. And there's another one, but I forgot the name. It's not the most simple term. So we do one more set of this. Maybe 10 reps, maybe 12 reps. It's really slow reps, so it burns you up easier, more easily. Oh man, those slow reps are killing me. It's like easy to do 30 reps fast with this weight, but if you do it slow, man. You know, I really love bodyweight exercises, and I try to use them a lot more in my programs as well right now, because like one benefit that I really know from using bodyweight exercises, you can, if you want, you can make them really intense, but they're so much more sparing on the joints. Not exactly sure what the mechanism behind it is, like why lifting with weights is so much more demanding of the joints than bodyweight exercise, but there's a big difference. Yeah, man, it's funny, like, weights are expensive, but like if you're, you know, if you're creative, you need so little. And the reason that I got all this stuff is, I don't know, you know, I got the money for it. And in a sense I am creative, but I'm not willing to make all my own stuff. Iron is expensive. Well, iron is not expensive, but plates are expensive. 20 more minutes to go. I'm really happy that it works. So much easier than to use a separate app. I don't know what took YouTube so long to change this. Let's see. Maybe some biceps. That's a good chest finisher. I'll show you. now it's time to do some triceps. I always follow up, like after a chest workout, I always follow up with triceps. That's too light. This one's a little bit heavier. Oh, I think I skipped a lot of questions. Oh shit. Hey man, hey Inner Eagle. And the power thrust is a great thing, especially for chest. Oh no man, I'm not sad at all. Yeah, now that I've watched Vegan Gains video, I really wonder how much Frank Tefano gained in actual weight. Because at first I believed that he actually gained around like 13 pounds. That seemed very reasonable to me. But now I think that it's closer to 8 pounds. And you know, if you really look at his before physique and the physique that he's at now, it is... There's not a very big change, with exception to his arms. And yeah, I don't know. Like if you look at my before video and you look at my current physique, you can see a very big difference. You can see a very big difference at 6 weeks. You can see a very big difference at 3 months. And with Frank, I mean, I'm still not going to say that it's not a good transformation, depending how much work he has put in. But yeah, a vegan does it way better, apparently. I just want to be able to do an endurance workout. After 10 minutes, I'm really worn out. I think it is really important to have a basic cardio, and I have not done it here, but usually I always have a small cardio workout within my workout, either before my main workout or after my main workout. And I think that it is very important to build up a basic cardio. I have a good question. I'm testing out custom resistance power twisters. Do you have any suggestions for them? Like, are you making your own power twisters with custom resistance, or I'm not exactly sure what you're saying. Just finished my workout. Good morning from Canada. Good morning or good afternoon. No, wait, is it afternoon? Yeah, afternoon from the Netherlands. Oh, yeah. You mean a power twister where you can change the resistance, right? Yeah. And what was the question? I do not have a suggestion for them. Like, I do not own one myself, but I gotta say that that in terms of what you can do with them, they look superior to one of these, because it's, as you say, you can like change the resistance, which gives you so much more, opportunity to use the device. Gives so much more opportunity for things like progressive overload. And that's one of the big things that I really like about these new Bulwarkers, that you can change the resistance. Because before I owned these new ones, Bulwarker made up about, I'd say, 20 to 30% of my workouts. Now that I own the newer models, some of my workouts are like 80% Bulwarker exercise, because it is so much easier to apply one of these where you can change the resistance for more of your body. And the classic Bulwarker, to me, it really is like a device that is mostly used to progress your strength, because the resistance is so high. Yeah, ever since gyms became a thing, all of these alternative fitness devices, like the power twister, the Bulwarker, the chest expander, they're not that popular anymore, because there's more money to be made from gyms. But before gyms were a thing, everyone was using one of these, or everyone was using a Bulwarker. And that's one of the reasons that a lot of older people still use them a lot. And it just depends where the money is at. I mean, gyms, they have not always been around, I think that they really start to become popular, at least in the Netherlands, like maybe like the 70s, the 80s. Before that, everyone was doing this. But I think it was Bruce Lee that really made these things popular. Also, I'm not certain, like, my history with these things, it's not that on point. Yeah, so you are going to receive a custom one, right? Where you can change the resistance. Yeah, let me know how that one works. I gotta say, I have had some interest in getting one of those myself, and I assume that they are superior to one of these. There's another question. Good morning from Portage, Indiana. That's in America, right? Yeah. Do you know the best foods for tendon and ligament strength? So, tendon and ligament strength. It's funny because currently I am really focused on recovering my tendons and ligaments as much as possible, so that I can work out harder and longer. But the foods that I really would recommend for that, I believe vitamin C is pretty important for that. So you should always include some vitamin C rich foods, which can be, you know, can be like oranges, pineapples, papaya. Papaya is a really good one. Pineapple too, but papaya is better. They're not only good for your ligaments and your tendons, because you know the vitamin C is very important for that, but it's also really important for your biome, for your ability to digest foods. And otherwise, what is just as good would be sauerkraut or fermented vegetables, especially red cabbage, red fermented cabbage. So, you know, red sauerkraut, if you will. But you know, there are more things that are important than just vitamin C when it comes to having strong ligaments and tendons. So that is just one of many tips that I can give. But you know, it's kind of a topic that I would have to delve into myself to really give you a very precise answer. But vitamin C, I do know that that is important. So make sure that you get enough of your vitamin C. I bought one that hasn't even the number, it doesn't even have the number of the resistance I'm picking, so it was a bad buy. Well, you know, as long as the resistance feels good. I assume it's that these custom ones, they do not have a level of resistance that is so challenging that the normal gym goer cannot work with it. Like you have power twisters that go up to 100 kilos, and you can see that even like seasoned athletes cannot bend those. And you know, as long as you can work with it, right? As long as you know that you can make progressive overload, that's the most important. Because with this one, I'm not 100% certain what the resistance on this one is. I can check out what the resistance on this Bullworker is, but you know, it's not something that I really keep track of. I don't try to look too much at weights. I try to look like what challenges my muscles. I know I don't want to sponsorize, but I have the video on here on my channel. I'll check it out. Then 12 kilos for a power twister. I'm not sure how much mine is. I believe it's around 20 kilos. And but it might as well be like 10 kilos. I really have no clue. Yeah, I assume that is really not that challenging. I think, I'm not 100% certain, I think that this is 10 kilos. It's, you know, for me, not challenging at all. Love your videos, man. Keep up the good work. Thanks for your support. Adil Mirza, if I pronounced that correctly. How is the Bullworker on the tendons, dude? Good question. So, it really depends. If you work properly with one of these devices, then it is a lot better for your tendons than working with free weights. Like this can be compared more to body weight exercises, at least in terms of what it does to your tendons and your ligaments. However, you can do a few things wrong. For example, when you do this exercise, when you do the spread, right? I'll demonstrate. It's not that easy to demonstrate it with a shirt on. So, what you can do with this exercise, for example, is that you keep your elbows away from your body. If you then do the spread, you are putting stress on your joints in your shoulder, and that could damage the joints in your shoulder, for example. Or if you do this one, the bull worker press, if you will, and you keep your elbows like this, you get the same thing what tennisers get. You can potentially get a tennis elbow. So in those two instances, you could damage your joints if you're not careful. However, if you apply proper form, so for the spread, always keep your elbows close to your body, like this, right? Like this, not like this, but like this. And you do the press like this, instead of like this, then to my knowledge, your joints should be safe, and you should not, and it should be very hard to, overstress your joints. Let's see, we're at 34 minutes now. I'll cut off at 40 minutes. And then I will have a bigger live stream at the 3rd of January from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Central European time. I heard the bull worker is great for strength building, but not for muscle gain. You've got other machines, so how are you sure this builds muscle? I know that it builds muscle because I've mostly, out of all the alternative machines, I've mostly used the bull worker in the first few years of training. And I know that it builds muscle because I actually have a video on this. If you understand the basic mechanisms of what builds muscle, of what is necessary to build up muscle, then you'll realize that there's nothing special about free weights. There's nothing special about something like the bull worker. It all works if you know how to apply it. All that's important is resistance. And the bull worker can offer sufficient resistance for progressive overload. It can offer sufficient resistance to tear your muscles down, to cause muscle damage. And that's what is important for muscle growth. So, I have had workouts with the bull worker that make me like sore for a week. That to me alone tells me that it's working. And again, because I do understand the basic principles of what is necessary to grow muscles, like it is actually really simple. And like everyone that understands the basics understands that, again, there's nothing special about it. It just works. Since the last live stream, I've made great gains. Yeah, that was about a year ago, wasn't it? You've been a great inspiration to my progress. I'm happy that I can inspire people. And I'm glad that you made some great gains, man. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are forcing me to take off my shirt, and you guys are taking time away from my workout. Love you, man. Thanks, man. Yeah, slow and fast twitch and red and white fibers. Yeah, that's another topic. Currently doing 3 sets of 10 second holds and doing 10 reps. Doing the 90-day plan with the machine. Any plan or book you recommend? I personally have not read up on a lot of material when it comes to isometric, knowledge, isometric PDFs, ebooks, whatever. So in that regard, it's hard for me to really make a recommendation. I have a certain way of how I train with these things, and that is what works for me. And throughout the years, I have developed my own way of doing things. And I do own, I think I do own the 90-day plan because it came with this device. And I've not really looked at it in depth, but I assume that it is an effective program. Depending on the level you're at. Like if you are, a seasoned athlete, then maybe there are better programs. And I am thinking about bringing out my own program, which is, a little bit more adequate for either a seasoned athlete or an intermediate level athlete. No, the questions are fine. That's why I'm doing this live stream, man. Ask away. You guys have 1 more minute, and then I end the live stream. And again, don't forget that the 3rd of January from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central European time, there will be another live stream, a longer one, for at least 2 hours. We'll see for how long we can go. And yeah, I will be ending this one soon. And I'm still working on it. Like, I've also been working on my diet plan, and my nutrition plan to make that public to the masses, if you will. Well, not the masses, but my viewers. And like when I work on something, I want to do it as, as good as possible. I just want to bring out something that, it's hard to deny what I'm saying. It's hard to give a counter argument to like my methods. Like that's how I want to create a plan. I want to create an airtight idea of how I do my own thing and how I teach it to others. So, in that regard, there's still things that I'm just working out, or still things that I'm testing out. And, when it's done, it's done. And I am currently working on it. And I think I will most likely bring out my diet plan first, which should come out in January, or at least I will start, with the basics. I will bring out the basics. Yeah, exactly. Rome wasn't built in one day. And like that's what I've seen throughout the years. Like, like I find things that work for me and that have worked for people that I've helped with these things. But I just want to be really certain like that it works, and I just really want to understand how it works, and like what these things can mean for someone in the long run. So like in terms of diet, my nutrition has basically been the same for the past year or so. And I have experimented with a few things just to like just to make things more precise, if you will. Just to get a more precise idea of what works. Just one thing, triceps and biceps with bull worker, please. I have made an arm workout. Have you not seen it? It's my most recent workout. I think it's just called bull worker workout, arms and shoulders. And there I explain a few exercises that are effective for the biceps, triceps, and the shoulders. Because usually you will always use your shoulders with these exercises anyway. When you do the spread, for example, you will always use the back of your shoulders, right? But you will also, what is this? This the long hat, then this must be the lateral hat, and then this the medial hat. You will train the lateral hat, this one, with this exercise. One of my favorite exercises. Well, we are almost at 43 minutes. So yeah, guys, thanks for for joining, and I hope I will see all of you the 3rd of January from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central European time. Be sure to check out your own time zone. I will list the event beforehand. Probably the 1st of January it will be listed. And be sure to mark it in your agenda. It will be on a Friday, and it will be the day before my birthday. So, you know, in that sense, I'm going to call it Machismo's birthday live stream special or something like that. So yeah, again, thanks for joining, you guys. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, see you all the 3rd of January. No problem. And yeah, bless y'all. Till the next one.